Hello Aquarius, welcome to your January 2022 video. Happy birthday to all the early born Aquariuses and Happy New Year. Now throughout January until January 29th, we have Venus retrograde, and this is happening in your 12th house. It's important to note that a Venus retrograde is about healing. It takes us into the past. People from our past re-enter our lives. It's about relationships, it's about luxury, it's about all of those things. And it's about knowing your worth and your value. Now, Venus retrograde in the 12th house is where we want to self-isolate. We can see things about others that we didn't know. Now we see it clearly. This is a sensitive house. This could have you thinking a lot about the past. You can have really intense dreams. It's an emotional house of healing. It is a time of isolation too, where you might find yourself wanting to isolate. Give yourself the time and the space to isolate from others. It's not the house when we have energy in the 12th house to want to connect. We kind of disconnect from the external world and others, and we reconnect to the spiritual realm, the spiritual world where we are healing, where we are letting go, where we are thinking about the past and feeling things about the past. And there's an element of forgiveness of self and compassion of self that needs to come through in order for healing to happen. Now, on the 2nd of January, we have the new moon also happening in this 12th house. This is taking you deep into your emotions, yourself. It might even bring some clarity on certain things that you feel. Again, dreams are very important around this time. It's a great time for meditation. It's a good time for chakra balancing. It's a good time for healing. It's a good time for astrology, readings. It's really about deeply understanding your spiritual self right now. It is not the house to connect to the world around you. It's about disconnection. It's about connecting to the earth. It's about taking time to meditate. It's about taking time to rest. You would also need to rest a lot during this time. It's not a very active time. Take care of your health, physically, mentally, emotionally. Be gentle. That's what the 12th house is. Spend time alone, contemplate, and you will come through it. On the 3rd, we have Mercury joining Saturn in your sign. This is all about focus, details, and organization. You will have a lot of concentration, so you can take action on anything you wish to. With Mercury being in your sign, with Saturn that's in your sign, they're joining together. So basically, what do you want? What do you want to focus that energy on? Mercury is all about thoughts, our communication. So if you want to communicate something to someone, it can come across a bit direct because Saturn's there. But make sure you do it. Anything that you want to do when it comes to you, where you want to express yourself, to be your authentic self, it's the time to do it. Do it now. Sign all contracts now. Any ideas that you have, be it business, be it pleasure, be it paperwork you need to sign, please do it now. Before Mercury goes into retrograde around the 14th, so by the 15th, Mercury's in retrograde in your sign. And this is a lot about, again, people from the past come back to our lives. This is where we gain some insight into others and their thoughts. You know, this is about you as well. There's a lot you're doing when it comes to healing and releasing things about yourself. And when I say that, doesn't mean that, oh, healing and releasing things about myself. It's not about you being wrong. It's more about time to understand what are your doubts, what are your insecurities, what's holding me back, what situations, what people do not support me, who do I need to be around, what is important to me. That's what it's about in order for you to make choices that are better for yourself. But if you need to sign anything, sign it before the 15th. And if there's any people that come back into your past, see where the healing needs to transpire. Don't start any relationships during the Mercury retrograde. Know that miscommunication can happen when it comes to emails, telephone, all of those things. When we're communicating with others, others can misunderstand us. That's the energy of the Mercury retrograde. On the 17th, we have a full moon happening in your 6th house. This is all about health, work, and routine. Make sure that you are taking care of yourself. The full moon will release, can even create a physical release, an emotional release, a mental release, because when we are talking health, it's all aspects. It's not just your physical body. It's also your emotional health, your mental health, your spiritual health. So if you're going through a release during this full moon, allow yourself to release. This also affects work and your day-to-day work, the routine that you have. If there's any changes you want to make to your work, this would be the time to do it, or contemplate about making those changes. as well, because we'll be in that Mercury retrograde. Contemplate changes you want to make when it comes to your work, your routine. When I say your routine, how you get up, are you getting enough sleep, are you eating well, are you taking care of yourself? A lot of self-care here, a lot of self-care when it comes to yourself and being gentle with yourself. So are you taking care of yourself? Are you getting enough sleep? Are you getting enough rest? Do you need to change your routine? Do you need to wake up earlier? Do you need to go into work earlier? Do you need to go into work later? What can you do to improve your day-to-day routine so that you can work effectively and efficiently within your day-to-day life? On the 20th, the sun comes into your sign and it's birthday time. So the sun illuminating your first house of you, what you want, your dreams, all of those things are important to you. Remember, you've been doing all this releasing and purging. Well, it's leading to your birthday time. It's leading to a time where you can now make things good and beautiful and better for yourself. So allow that energy to come through for you. On the 25th, Mars enters the 12th house. Now, Mars is about action, but in the 12th house, you can feel rather restless. It might be difficult to get some sleep. So that's why I suggest getting enough sleep and rest before then. Great time to take action when it comes to spiritual stuff. When I say spiritual stuff, meditation, chakra balancing, essential oils, anything to give yourself a deeper spiritual understanding about yourself. This is a very spiritual month for you, a lot of spiritual energy. And when I say spiritual energy, when we are feeling sensitive, when we are feeling a bit like we're releasing things from the past, the spiritual energy, when we work on our spiritual cleanliness, but how we think, are we thinking too negatively? Do we need to change the way that we think? Do we have to have mindful thinking, mindful practices? Am I reading a positive quote in the morning? Am I pulling a daily card for myself? Am I lighting a candle to meditate? Am I lighting a candle for prayer? Am I basically taking some time to develop my spiritual practices? Am I grounding? Am I getting out into nature? This is the 12th house, and Mars is the energy of action. But it's very difficult to take action when it's in the 12th house of things of the past, and it can make you feel a bit restless, maybe even a bit moody. So that's why spiritual energy and spiritual practices will be very helpful throughout this period, even going into February. Thank you so much for listening. Do like and subscribe. My website's linked down below if you'd like a reading, as well as a link for appreciation of these videos.